Madison Keevy's been busy all morning for you, gathering the latest information. She's live at 10th and L. We heard in the press conference, Madison, about the bodies of the victims still in the street. And you spoke to grieving families. And we want to say that the gentleman who spoke to Steve Large earlier, he wanted to speak. I know many times when we do stories like this, it's so difficult to navigate and keep in mind people's privacy, and obviously we respect that. So that gentleman wanted to speak about his son. But obviously there's many grieving families, Madison, still very upset by the fact that their body's still on the street.
I am so glad you said this. This is our process. We are all humans, both in front, behind the camera, and who are experiencing this. And I've spoken to a mother who believes that her son is the third male victim, but she did not want to identify him publicly to us. She said she wanted to let her extended family and his loved ones know before they saw his name and picture on TV. I did not fight that. That is the way it should go. Someone should learn that their loved one is no longer here by those that they know, not by a TV reporter for the first time in this situation. And we respected that. What she did tell me, though, is that she was frustrated. She said that she'd been told by law enforcement that her son's body was one of 3 that had been laying in the street since this happened at 2 a.m. She was upset already with what had happened, but said she would feel just a little better if she knew that his body was safe already with the coroner or somewhere that was not on the street. I'm going to move out of the way here so you can see down 10th Street just the sheer amount of evidence. She said she'd come down to this crime scene a little bit, but wasn't getting any answers. She's been waiting now for 12 hours. How she says she found out that her son was likely one of those 3 males killed was a video. Someone sent her one of those videos that police have been asking for and say that they've seen. In that video, she says that she saw and recognized what her son was wearing last night when he went out. Now, for 12 hours, she's been working to try to identify him with police. Of course, as we heard in that press conference, it's a huge crime scene. We've been telling you that all morning. You can see there in the distance those evidence markers we now know are part of hundreds, dozens of investigators on this scene. And she says she understands all of that. She's grateful that people are taking the time, of course, to get to the bottom of what happened, but she is still just struck with the fact that her son's body has been in the street. Now, our CBS 13 reporter, Laura Hafley, did ask in that press conference about that very thing. The answer that we got from the Sacramento police chief was that this is a large crime scene and they're trying to process everything and move through this investigation, and that cannot always be done quickly. So again, when it comes to talking about, who these 6 individuals are, we approach this from the human side of things. And actually that mother contacted me and wanted our help here to try to figure out what she needed to do to go to City Hall to get some of these answers. And of course, as we continue through this and continue to cover this, it's not just 6 victims and 12 injured, but they all have names and stories. And I hope that we'll be able to share those as the family would like to learn a little bit more about the people that we're talking about.
Madison, these families clearly will never be the same. Again, 3 men, 3 women killed in this tragic shooting. And, to your point about having these families understandably upset that their loved ones are still there at the scene, and hearing the response from the police chief today about why they are still there, this investigative process is very, very detailed, very tedious, and they want to bring people to justice. They want to bring these shooters to justice, as they said, and it's hard to reconcile how the process of family members and the police and the investigators who are trying to find justice for these families, they don't always jive on that same timeline. But of course, you have to respect both people's processes as well. All right, Madison, thank you so much for that live update. We appreciate it.